Nathan Ivey.com. Mr. Ivey know the show must go on. And for Cincinnati, man, I put on. Tunes made another flame beat for me to cook on. Raised dogs, close fish, yeah, too strong. Team NI, chop it up at the chop shop. Top notch with the king flow, the hot shot. Cop squats in, listen to the real. Jumping like hopscotch, nobody harder than, oh, no, think not. Not only citywide, but nationwide. Superlative, keep it locked like them Haitian guys. Put the truth in the airwaves, we talk about it. Brand new like the templates, let's be about it. Who got the info by the AM? John be the rapper, got them jamming when they play him. Staying in my lane, they ain't gotta okay him. Who the host with the scoop? Yeah, they gon' say him. Ivy, so superlative like a bag of Grippos. Show you where the bricks at, Cincinnati Reds at. One time where my people at. Team NI where my people at. It's the 5-1-3, yeah, you know the flow. What's the word, Nate? Let them know the show. One time where my people at. Team NI where my people at.
Good morning, world. Welcome back. Beautiful Friday. And as always, my pleasure to be with you. On today's show, we'll probably end up talking about numerous things because it's a Friday. No D, a Friday. Great to be alive. The weather in Cincinnati, I say good. I say good on all things, it could be worse. I'd say it's good. And we made it. The weekend is here. Good morning to you. On today's show, I want to talk about multiple things. I mean, today's the 10-year anniversary of Trayvon Martin's tragic incident. I think the young boy would have been like 26, 27 today. My question is, did Trayvon Martin's death change the nation? I asked that question because I saw a couple headlines proclaiming that it did. And I'm like, changes how? Because shoot first laws, and that's what they should be called, not stand your ground, but shoot first laws have expanded. They've expanded in the last 10 years. Now Ohio is a shoot first state. We'll talk about it this morning. Also, as things are heating up in the Ukraine, I've got a question for you. I have got a question for, okay, dope. Okay, cool. I got a question for Americans. How deeply should the United States get involved in this situation in the Ukraine? Is this just the Ukraine and Russia, or do we have a stake in it? And if we do, how deeply involved should we be? Should it just be like resources and equipment and maybe military intel? Or are we talking about American soldiers on the ground? Where would that lead? Just yesterday, I was watching Democracy Now!, and they had a guest on talking about how this could lead to a nuclear war. What? What's just what we don't need? Just what we don't need. But remember, folks, we are living in the last days of common sense. So this ain't the world that your grandparents grew up in, or even your parents grew up in. It's a whole different paradigm now. It's a whole different paradigm. We are circling the drain, no doubt about it. Plus a smattering of other topics that have caught my radar screen, and a suggestion that for something on Netflix. Anybody like Netflix? I got a suggestion for you. I've just started the first episode. I'm into the second episode. I think you'll really like it if you're into that type of entertainment. But here's what I want everybody to do. If you haven't already done it, just take a minute to like and in particular share today's show. I want to let you know, if you're on Facebook, you can find us on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, you can find us on Facebook. Okay. On YouTube, I'm at Nathan Ivey EY, and we stream this live from the CIN Digital Media, CIN Digital Media Facebook page. To my audio people, what's up? My Spreaker folks, good morning to you. Jace is in the house. He writes, morning, Nathan. Sharp writes, TGIF, Nathan the Choppers. Ray writes, good risings all. Good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well. And to my people on TuneIn, I'm not reading your text, but I know you're there, and I appreciate you. Some folks just like the audio. They just like the audio. That's great. Do your thing. Good morning to you. 513-873-7134. That's right. We're back. Coming up today at 9 a.m., I'm scheduled to get a Zoom call from Ashley Glass. Ashley Glass. Now, she's the sister that put together a documentary, and they were focusing on basically Black women and their health. And the question was surrounding something called Imposter Syndrome, which, maybe you know what that is, maybe you don't. It's a feel that, you got a position and, you're just not good enough, and you're really a fraud, and it's only a matter of time before the people find out, or something like that. It's a very serious issue. The documentary, I thought it was a good first start, and it has some excellent commentary in it. But she's back, and this time she's focusing on the mental health of Black men. That's right. She's going to be doing a doc with some Black men here locally, and it'll be out soon, and I'll let you know when and where. I'm actually a part of the project, so I'll be giving a little commentary, my own thoughts about men, Black men in particular, mental health, and maybe some of my own perspectives. But tomorrow they're having a get together tomorrow, and you get a chance to meet, and some of the men will get a chance to meet each other's. I know maybe one or two of the men that are involved with it, the other fellas, but not all of them. So that'll be interesting. She's got a whole menu of events, including a panel discussion. So I'll be a part of that tomorrow. But she's going to come on today with some of the other brothers, and they'll be talking a bit about, well, she'll talk about, what she's doing and why she's doing. And they'll talk about, their perspective about what she's doing. That's coming up at 9 a.m. this morning. I said 9 a.m. Good morning to you. Welcome back. Hold on. I don't like that camera angle there. I think I like it better like that. Now we Gucci. I think I like that better. I'm good with that. Good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Y'all ready for this? Well, we're going to do it either way. We're going to do it either way. Either way. But 10 years ago, Trayvon Martin, that was so tragic. All of it. From the first time we heard about it, and we heard that this private citizen, this volunteer neighborhood watchman, had surveilled this young boy. He was a boy at that point. He was not even a man. It's amazing how when Black teenagers are victimized, they become men. You're a grown man now. And I mean, it just, I was watching the news this morning. I was watching Good Morning America. They were describing it, and they said, oh, it opened up a conversation about race. Well, the conversation was more than just race. The conversation about Trayvon Martin was about race. It was about class. It was about racism. It was about vigilanteism, right? It was about a lot. It was deep. Super deep. 10 years ago, he would have been, I think, 27 years old today, or 26. I think 27 years old. Very, very sad. I saw some video footage of his mother this week and his father. And of course, they took the high road. They say, we're going to make something positive out of this. And she said, basically, it's long time suffering. That's not the kind of thing you ever get over. And I can only imagine. Having a son myself, I can only imagine. And is George Zimmerman still around? He's still around somewhere. I don't know what kind of life he has, but it's been a whole thing. It really has. But did his death change the nation? And if so, change how? Because what's happened in the last 10 years, fam, is that shoot first laws have expanded. Since Trayvon Martin's death, I live in Ohio. Since Trayvon Martin's death, these suck MC Republicans in Ohio have passed their own shoot first law. Now, some people call it stand your ground law. I refer to it as shoot first law because that's really what it allows you to do. It allows you to shoot first because I feel like. And that situation with Trayvon Martin, man, in my opinion, it never should have applied. How do you surveil somebody, stalk? You stalk someone, confront someone with a weapon. The professionals told you to stand down. You do it anyway. You open up a can of whoop ass you can't deal with, and then you want to pull your weapon like a coward. And that's why I will for always refer to Zimmerman as the coward George Zimmerman. Freaking coward. And, I don't condone violence, but I will say this, is that if I heard, and I've said this for years, I'll say it again. If I heard that somebody caught up with the coward George Zimmerman and dealt with him, I'd have no problem. Don't put me on the jury because I'm subject to letting people go. I put it that way. I'm subject to let people go. So you're all right. It was self-defense. That's what George Zimmerman deserves. He deserved either one or two things. He deserved for the family of Trayvon Martin to catch up with him one day, or he deserved to be in the same situation that he put Trayvon Martin in, but he ends up on the ground. That's what the man deserved, quite honestly. Good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. We got an early call. What? So I want to get your thoughts on that. And then everybody's talking about the Ukraine right now, and rightly so. Have you seen some of the images, man? Oh, my God. Like destroyed buildings, bodies on the ground, seen some videos, the aftermath of what looked like an airstrike, mangled bodies, not a good thing. I'll just say it again, man. It's tragic that human beings with all of our genius and ingenuity, that we have chosen to take some of that and to create mechanisms that do nothing more than destroy the human body and the human experience. Like if we would put that to the side and work together for a brighter collective future, who knows what we could create. But in the last 24 hours, I'm on Democracy Now! They talking about nuclear war, just what I don't need. Oh my God. 2022 is starting out to be a hell of a year. We're trying to get away with COVID. We got all this stuff with the mask mandate and the vaccine mandates, and that debate is still going on. And now the threat of nuclear annihilation, just what we needed. If COVID don't get us, then the nuclear weapons will. But I'd like to know, in your opinion, as much as you know, because I think there's various levels of knowledge about what's going on here. I want to know what your gut reaction is. How deeply involved should this country, the United States, actually get? Should it be like, hey, we're going to send you some resources? Need a check? We'll send you a check. You need some military intelligence officers, right? Strategists, okay? Soldiers? We going that far? Face to face? Hot war? I don't know. I want to get your thoughts. So how deeply involved should the United States get in the Ukraine? Some are saying that if we don't stop Putin here, then he's going to spread. That's the same shit they've been saying about communism since the beginning of the fear of communism, right? We got to stop it right here, right? If we don't, then it's going to spread. Oh, okay. I don't know. People say the United States shouldn't be the world's policeman. In the last 24 hours since we did this show last, I've seen some TikToks, very hilarious, and they're saying United States, stay out of it. Mind your business. But I want to get your thoughts. Roots Tafari writes, good morning, Choppers. Good morning to you, Roots Tafari. Tiffany writes, good morning. Charles writes, grand risings, Nate and the Choppers. David writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Kelly writes, good morning. Rooster writes, hey, Nate, since it's Friday, can we get to the chopper soundbite? Yeah, okay, we can get it.
Go! Get to the chopper!
You already know. Antonio, what up? What up? Jason writes, yo, he's on both. He's on YouTube and he's in Spreaker. Gail writes, happy Friday. And good morning, Nathan and listeners. Carmelita writes, good morning, Nathan and the Choppers, TGIF. We have Drop on the line. Let's go straight to the phones. It's early. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Mr. Ivey. Thank you for having me, sir, and allowing me to be the first call of the day. And yes, I'm up this morning. I didn't sleep in. I was up at 5 a.m., ready to go, getting in line to be the first caller on your show. And I got two things on your topic of Trayvon Martin. The thing that comes to my mind about that case, and rest in peace, Trayvon, another tragedy of a young black man who lost his life too soon over some BS. And the two things that sparked my memory about this case is how in the beginning, when the case was initially reported on the local news, they had George Zimmerman's face and obviously his name, and the media immediately played the race card. White man guns down black teen in housing community or in condo community. And then as time went on, they found out that George Zimmerman was actually a Hispanic man that was adopted by the Zimmerman family. And they immediately, instead of saying that the man was a Mexican who fatally shot that young boy, they said he was a white Hispanic to continue playing the race card. And then the other thing was the fact that our first black president took 30 days, and that was under pressure from the civil rights community, that this first black president had to say something about this local shooting. And he finally came out, and everybody remember that famous press conference where he said, if I had a son, he'd look like Trayvon. And those are the two things that I remember about the Trayvon Martin case.
Well, my question my question about Trayvon Martin is, did the Trayvon Martin case change the nation? And if so, how?
Well, I think it did because it happened while we had the first black president in office. And it took him so long to respond. And then this was on the heels of his beer summit with the white officer and with Dr. Henry Louis Gates, who got arrested for breaking into his own house. It was those two things that kind of put that label on President Obama that he didn't really care about black people and black issues, because everybody was like, well, Mr. President, we all know it was a local issue. And the president was privy to the information, and he felt that, I mean, I would assume because it took so long, he felt that it was a justified.
This opportunity to throw shade at Obama?
Mr. Ivey, it's your topic. I'm commenting on it. You ask people, what is their take 10 years after the fatal shooting of Trayvon Martin? And I'm telling you.
That's not what I ask people. What I ask people is, did Trayvon Martin's death change the nation? If so, how? That's what I asked you. And you took this opportunity
and you said,
throw shade
you
on
asked for comment.
Talking about he was dragging his feet.
He was, okay, Mr. Ivey, did he or did he not take 30 days and then finally, after pressure from the black community and civil rights leaders, that he finally had that famous press conference?
I don't recall all those details. I mean, I'm not saying.
Oh, so wrong. Now again, so you're going to allow
30 days,
you're going to allow
35 days, or 15
days.
But I don't recall.
But it's the okay. Well, you'll probably allow somebody to come in here and fact check and say I was wrong when, in like yesterday about the Ukraine, about Ukraine yesterday, Mr. Ivey.
Oh yeah. You get your fact check yesterday.
And I was correct. Tracy was partially correct, but she got her information from CNN. They spun the story. There's stories this morning, Mr. Ivey, when I was waking up. You got old ladies in high rises shooting at Russians on the border. Mr. Ivey, what I said yesterday, it was within context of the bill, the 215 carry conceal law in Ohio. But I was just saying how in America we have the Second Amendment and everybody has arms and the government doesn't have to go around and distribute and instruct people how to defend the border of their country. That's all I said. And then you let Tracy come in and you didn't even check her. You just said, see, I know it's a drop. You better watch out. You can't be coming in here with fake information. Yeah. I be telling you, you better watch what you get on Fox News.
I don't remember exactly what you said yesterday.
Oh, Mr. Ivey, it was less than 24 hours. How can you not remember?
Right, I don't remember, man. I got other things in my head than what you said yesterday. I don't remember.
Okay. Hey, Mr. Ivey, it's all good. I still rock with you, bro. I still flow with the Nathan Ivey Show. I love it. And I'm going to always participate if you will allow me.
Absolutely.
But again, you are the captain in the seat. And again, a great topic. And like I say again, Mr. Ivey, it was a tragedy, that whole case. It was sad. It was heart-wrenching the way it went down. Because it shouldn't have never happened. Everybody knows that. But again, I'm just saying the two things that I remember the most, how they turned him into a white Hispanic and how it took the first black president so long to respond to that tragedy. That's all I got. And again, Mr. Ivey, fact check the fact check. Well, Mr. Ivey, this is a fact, okay? The man waited forever to say something. And he only did it under pressure.
So what's your expectation? Your expectation is the president of the United States is supposed to give a full statement within how many days? Like 30 days?
Mr. Ivey,
that don't seem unreasonable to me for some reason. I don't know. Like
what? Okay,
Mr.
Ivey.
Police officers involved, right? This was a private citizen. And so I'm sure the White House, like everybody else, was waiting to see the information that was going to come out from the investigation. So I'm not sure what the expectation for Obama was back then. I don't really remember having it myself.
Okay, Mr. Ivey, if you remember, there was I think it was the Minnesota shooting of who was it? That when Trump was president and Sarah Sanders was on the podium.
Why are we talking about Trump? I thought we was talking about Obama.
Because you wanted me to give you a comparison.
What is an acceptable time frame for that situation for the president to say something, in your opinion? Like, how long should he have taken, in your opinion?
No longer than a week after the week news cycle, whatever the news cycle is.
That's ridiculous.
When the information.
That's ridiculous.
Well, that's your opinion. You asked me my opinion.
Yeah, I'm telling you, your opinion. That's ridiculous. That doesn't make
any
sense.
How you gonna ask my opinion and then just tell me I'm ridiculous?
Like I just did. It's ridiculous. That makes
because
no sense.
It was a setup. It was a setup question. It was a setup question in the beginning.
It wasn't a setup
I know
question.
How this shit works.
Your answer is just ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
To expect.
No.
The question should be, why did it take him so long?
Because there was a local shooting in Florida. And a week later, nobody had any information. What was he supposed to say in a week? We didn't know anything.
Mr. Ivey, after the media made the correction, after they identified George Zimmerman as a white man, when they made the correction to identify his ethnicity correctly, that is when the president should have said something. And that was after, I think it was 3 to 4 days when they finally made the correction. He's supposed to address this racial concern in the city because it was in Florida, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was in Florida.
And because Mr. Ivey, social unrest broke out. Mr. Ivey, there were a number of fatal shootings under Barack Obama's watch. And the biggest one was Michael Brown. And then you had Trayvon Martin. And then there was 2 or 3 other ones. And all I'm telling you is because the way the president responded with his friend, Professor Henry Gates, and the white officer in Cambridge, I think it was in Massachusetts.
Right.
Everyone was wondering where was the president on the Trayvon Martin case?
I'm sure people were wondering, but wondering and having an expectation that within a week he's going to give some big official press conference, and when within a week we still trying to figure out what actually happened is ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Okay,
that's
then
it's
okay.
Like 30 days.
Okay,
I don't think that you can put a time frame on it. It really depends on the flow of information and the circumstances. What's he gonna say? Like, this is tragic. So he waited until he felt like it was appropriate and he had enough information to really come out and speak intelligently, which is something Trump, your boy, never did. He was just blather on everything. And maybe you got used to that. That's the wrong way of doing things. Smart people wait till they get the information. They actually have something to say before they start talking. Your boy Donald Trump, that you voted twice for, he just ran his mouth with no facts whatsoever. So maybe that's what you got used to, but that doesn't make any sense to me. It's still ridiculous.
Okay, well, Mr. Ivey, I'm gonna. I appreciate you spending time with me and trying to debate me back and forth and trying to set me up with nonsense questions that have nothing to do with the facts. All you got to do is go back and look at the media accounts, because again, like I said, there was a shooting that happened under Trump's watch, and his press secretary was asked the question, why is President Trump not responding to this? And Sarah Sanders said it was a local issue. And that's what Barack Obama looked at it when Trayvon Martin got shot, because it was Florida. It was stand your ground. He knew it was a lawful shooting. My point is the first black president, his entire record with black people was tarnished severely after the Trayvon Martin incident. Because again, Mr. Ivey, you look at the timeline when this happened, he was up for re-election and he thought he was going to get his ass beat because he thought he was going to lose the black vote. That's all I'm saying. I love Mr. Ivey. I wish, man, you could go back and forth more.
I just did my
because
Michael
you
Jordan
are no
laugh
match.
When he was looking at
you are no match,
Mr.
Ivey.
Man, that's hilarious.
Okay. Well, I mean,
okay, little bro. Okay.
See, now you trying to trigger me. But anyway, Mr. Ivey, everybody, y'all be safe in them streets. Y'all have a good weekend, and just hope and pray that war does not come to our shores. Drop Squad 52. Drop in science. Fact check the fact checkers, baby. All right, I'm out.
That man he is nuts, man. Any opportunity to ish on Obama. And I mean, if it's again, I ain't got no problem with you ishing on Obama, but it's gotta make sense. So he expected Obama. That's what you got from it. Now, I do remember that press conference when Obama said, look, you're right. There were people that wanted to know what the president thought, obviously, because he's the first black president. Yeah. But to have some kind of like serious expectation that he's going to come out within a certain set amount of time, that doesn't make any sense to me. I think what should guide a press conference on that level should be the facts. Do you have something to say? You know what I'm saying? What do you have to say that people really need to or want to hear? But Trump used to get out there and run his mouth about everything all the time, blather on, run on sentences, run on thoughts. So maybe he got used to that. So any excuse to ish on Obama. I mean, do you, bro? Do you, but that's ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. And when he finally did come out, he delivered one of the most passionate statements that a president has ever issued or talked about when there was a shooting of this nature, in which he completely embraced the situation as a black man. He completely embraced the situation as a black man and said that, Trayvon Martin could have been my son. You ain't never heard a U.S. president say nothing like that before, but you want to focus on the timeline as if that matters. I can't even remember what was going on back then, but I do know that typically within 1 week, you don't have enough information that's out and available on these kind of shootings. Of course, it's the White House still, but the police in Florida still got to do their investigation. It takes them a little bit. I don't know. I don't know why he took 30. Was it 30 days or 31 days or 17 days? I don't think it really matters. But my question for you is, did Trayvon Martin's death change the nation? If so, how? It did change the nation, in my opinion. And I'll tell you how in just a couple of minutes. Good morning to you. Tracy writes, hi. Tanika writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Oh, yes, it's Friday. That's right. It's a Friday, which means that Sunday's just around the corner. And our good friends at Renew Community Church, they do a Sunday morning live masterclass. People love the masterclass series these days. They love to learn something new. This could be an opportunity for you. You can tap in on Facebook, facebook.com/Cincy Renew. You can also tap in on YouTube, Renew Community Church live stream. This Sunday's topic, change your life, love thyself. I'll say it again. Change your life, love thyself. And you can tap in this Sunday at 11:45 a.m. It's all live stream, so you can do it on your phone or your tablet or your computer. Tap in, check it out. If it's for you, stay. If it's not, boom. Well, holla. Get back to your Sunday, and maybe you tap back in on another day. But check them out. Good morning to you. So first, check out Edna Howe Parish. Straight Talk Live is back, live streaming on Sundays at 10 a.m. She typically goes about an hour. That'll give you about a good 45 minutes. Do whatever you got to do. Get that breakfast in, get your walk in, and then tap into what they're doing at Renew Community Church. A little bit of local news here. A little bit of local news. I want to add this to the conversation, and we might talk about a multitude of topics. This is your morning destination for interesting conversation. Also give you a heads up. Coming up at 9 a.m., I've got a guest scheduled to come in. Ashley Glass is going to come in and talking about what she's doing around the issues of Black men and their health, their mental health. But everybody knows that you've got two big trials, right, that people are looking at locally, and they both involve former Cincinnati City Council members. One is P.G. Sittenfield, white male Democrat. The other is Jeff Pastor, Black male Republican. And now I'm reading that Jeff Pastor's lawyer, Ben Dusing, has been temporarily suspended by the Kentucky Supreme Court. How is this going to impact Jeff Pastor, and people call him Polly Pastor? How is this going to impact Polly Pastor's defense? Because it looks like Ben Dusing is going to have some issues. He was suspended following a 3-month review of allegations that he threatened two Northern Kentucky attorneys. And also, and I saw the alleged sort of transcripts of that. Apparently, he went hard on Facebook at these two attorneys that were involved with something to do with his daughter. But then the other allegation, and this might even be worse, is that he was using amphetamines during a federal criminal trial in New York. Yeah, apparently he was doping up. He had to get doped up just so he could do his job. Could you imagine that? I don't know if it's true, it's just an allegation, but they suspended him for it. And there's a quote from Ben Dusing saying, like, yeah, I knew this was coming. Quote, "It's not altogether unexpected. It's my intent to do the things that have been asked of me to do." What? Gosh darn, Jeff Pastor, you can pick them. You fighting your own corruption charges, and you go get a lawyer that's got problems. So is this going to delay Jeff Pastor's trial even more? It definitely could. It looks like Ben Dusing, we don't even know if he's going to he may never practice law again. He may never practice law again. That's how serious this is. Ben Dusing says, "This is a temporary suspension. I'm hoping to serve my clients, and if people want me to represent them, I'd like to be able to represent them at the appropriate time. But that's on the back burner." I mean, we're September, October for that case at this point. What? And apparently he's also running to be a Kenton County family court judge. So he's losing it on Facebook and allegedly taking dope in the courtroom. Oh, man. One of his clients wrote a statement about Ben Dusing. Quote, "Dusing's lack of preparation, poor performance at my trial, visible consumption of prescription drugs with runs to the pharmacy by his staff are cause for grave concern. In fact, I remember Mr. Dusing stating during the trial that he was, quote unquote, back in business after clutching a large prescription bottle that his legal just retrieved from the pharmacy from him. So is he doped up on that legal stuff? It's a lot of people are. It's the legal drugging of America. We always talk about the street drugs and legal drugs, but there's people out there abusing legal drugs. They're going straight to their drugstore, doped every day, clutching a large prescription, not holding, but clutching like, my precious, ooh, my precious. Is that what he was Is that what he was doing with the prescription bottle? That is too funny. Oh, my precious. Ooh. Okay, it's going to be a good day. It's going to be a good day. Damn, Jeff. Oh, my gosh. The suspension was effective September 24th, which is yesterday, and remains in effect until the Kentucky Supreme Court orders otherwise. Damn. The saga continues, man. So I hope Jeff Pastor the best. I really do. I hope he and PG Sinfield beat those charges. You know me. I'm consistent. I say the same thing. Now, if you do the crime, you got to do the time. But I hate to see people get caught up in the legal system like that. But damn, yo. How many people went to jail or got harsher penalties because their lawyer was not effective, was not ready for the moment, for whatever reason? Shaba Zulu writes, good morning. Did Putin punk Biden out? I am Shaba. So now Biden's being punked out. Man, listen, I was on Democracy Now! And they were talking with somebody who's a part of like some international like group. And what they do is they try to like keep their eyes on what's happening with nuclear weapons, right? Now, it just could be like, you know, they're fear mongering a bit because this is their wheelhouse, right? So if your wheelhouse is nuclear weapons, then anytime there's any kind of conflict, what's going to happen? You know, you're going to think maybe this is going to go to nuclear, right? Even if it's not. So it could have been some of that, man. But they was talking about how, you know, United States and Russia combined have enough nuclear weapons to totally annihilate the planet. Like, we back to that discussion. Gosh darn. I don't know what's going to get us. I don't know if it's going to be COVID, some biological entity you can't even see. Could be that. I don't know if it's going to be one of these damn, who are these people, man, that thought that Trump was like some kind of hero and he was leading like a secret war. What are these people called again? You got oath keepers and peacekeepers. I don't know. Is it going to be the weather? Will it be an asteroid? It'll probably be humans that destroy this garden of Eden called Earth. Probably so. But my question for you as it relates to that, because I know this is something that everybody's watching and talking about, so I want to be a part of the conversation as well. But my question for you is real simple. My question is, how deeply involved should the United States get with the Ukraine? That's my question for you. How deeply involved do you think we should get? Should it just be like we should use some supplies and, you know, maybe you can use our satellites? Cool. Or are we talking about, you know, head-to-head combat, you know, head-to-head terms of the United States and Russia? Where does that go? Nakir writes Trumpsters. Nah, it was who are these people, man? Remember they thought that the Hollywood elites were all pedophiles. QAnon, that's what it is. QAnon crazies, man. They might take out everybody. You never know. COVID. Now we talking about nuclear weapons. Like, damn, don't I have enough in my nightmares already? I'm afraid about my kid getting COVID at school. I'm crazy. I'm afraid about the fact that all these states are relaxing the mask mandate. You know what I'm saying? And we doing that too fast. Now I got to worry about that. Oh my God. Tiffany writes, the president can't take time to comment on everything that goes on in America. Why was he? Yeah, I agree. But he's right, though. I remember people did want to know what Obama thought. That's the extent of his rightness. But somehow Obama being guilty, that's an example of how Obama, but he's doing this whole black not Democrat thing. So it fits, what he's trying to build right now. I get it, but it don't make sense though. That's the only thing he took from the whole Trayvon Martin incident, right? Let me go to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Nathan. It's Kev on the cell.
What up, Kev on the
How you
cell?
doing? Man, what is with these? I'm trying to figure out what you just said. So we just got out of Afghanistan. Before that, we was in Iraq. Now you want to send us to Russia? So, they got 190,000 troops on the border. What are you going to do? You're just going to go bomb the 190,000 troops that, oh, by the way, are in the country that you're trying to save? No. I got to tell you that I don't think if we send 7,000 troops over there that are in Germany right now, or that are on the border of Germany. If those 7,000 troops get engaged into some kind of combat, everybody that is talking all this smack about how Biden's getting punked out and blah, 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 will be the main one saying he put our boys in harm's way. Our boys and girls in harm's way. Man, come on now.
Is that what people are saying?
It's sophomore.
Is that what people are saying, that Biden's getting punked out?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what they say. They're trying to say that Putin is if Trump was in office, Putin wouldn't dare. If Trump was in office, Putin wouldn't have dared done nothing, because Trump would be going right along with him and been like, okay, go ahead, take care of your business. I ain't got no problem with it. He probably would be on some press conference talking about me and Putin talked and we decided that this was best for America. I cannot. And then this Trayvon Martin happens, right? And the president at the time took time to find out about everything that was going on. He's slow to react. This, and that, right? Biden responds to something that happens. Oh my God, he's so fast. He's just drawing conclusions. It's the same drop. You can't have it both sides drop. Look, everybody that listens to you or has been listening to you for a while knows that you're trying to play both sides of the coin and just want to be incendiary. And it makes no sense, man. Like, people that have been listening understand. And honestly, okay, maybe it's like this. I did notice there was a comment that said, what's the poly pastor thing about? So maybe there's some new people on the line that drop may be enticing. If you are those people, it's the same rhetoric. It's been the same forever. And I ain't hating on him because Chopper support Chopper. But but man, it's Friday, man. You were saying that, right now I'm worried that my kid might honestly not have enough food to eat, catch the COVID while under the desk, hiding from the bomb scares and the potential issues that are going to tear this world apart from global climate change. It's a lot, man. It is just a lot. And then I got silly people out there that are still trying to play politics when, quite frankly, the entire country could be under threat. So I'm like this, man. It's Friday. I do got a job. I'm going to continue to listen. I'm going to continue to smile. And for all my people out there, you see the prices are going up. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to say it. We need to get the bag. Hey, man, keep being great, bro. Nathan on every station across the nation.
Hey, appreciate you, man. Absolutely, man. He said, I'm gonna keep saying it. Why is that funny? Somebody, because he used a term a lot, get to the bag, and people was like, I'm sick of the term, big get to the bag, and Kev is hard-headed. I mean, we all hard-headed in here, man. That's what makes us choppers. Choppers are hard-headed, intelligent, good people, but hard-headed. I know I'm super hard-headed, man. I think it's in my astrological sign as a Virgo. Let's go back to the phones. I got two questions for you. You can choose whatever, or maybe you want to chime in on the question, the topic about Ben Dusing. I didn't really put up a question for that. I was just really giving you some news. I thought, damn, How's this going to impact? I was going to say Polly Pastor, Jeff Pastor, or Pastor X is what we call him affectionately. He earned that name after an interview here with the Choppers. And then on the campaign trail, he went out to Damon Lynch's church. They was doing a campaign event. I'll never forget it, man. I'm watching the video, and I'm Pastor X. He just, boom, passed the mic on. I was like, oh, he going to embrace it. Okay. So Pastor X to us. But his lawyer looks like he's got his own problems. May have an addiction to some drugs, and maybe that's fueling the way that he's conducting himself on Facebook. Just not a smart thing to do as a professional. But let me go to the phones. That's to go on Facebook and get emotional. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Mr. Nathan Ivey and the good people of Cincinnati, as well as the good people up around the world. And yes, those blasted choppers. How are you today, sir?
I'm excellent, John. Good morning to you.
Well, I want to chime in on a couple of events, and I'll tell you about the launching today of Sankofa African American 3D virtual reality, the first virtual reality museum in the country and around the world. And we're the first one launching it. We'll get into that in a second. You know, you were just talking about the what's going on around the world, how Putin wanted to declare himself another Hitler. Look it up, choppers. 60 years ago, Hitler wanted to merge out of Germany and take over Europe. Who knows where he would have went? And America just sat back and watched the events going on. They didn't want to do anything. We don't have time to get involved with America and their role in allowing Hitler to get fat and greedy, knowing they were going to take them down. America has a history of doing that. Let people get fat and greedy, and then they want to drop bombs all over the place. You know, we can jump to the chase with Putin. 40% of his people in this country want him out. They're fed up with this guy. He's a nut. He's a quack, you know, and he needs to be taken out. Let's look back in time what happened to Saddam Hussein. Saddam Hussein got fat and greedy, and America knew they were going to take him down at one point because they want the oil. We don't have time to talk about the oil. We rip off more countries and grabbing that oil. There's no reason for the price of the oil to be this high. But hey, you know, we the suckers are going along with the play game. So, and then you go to Colonel Gaddafi. They want the oil again, America. So, you know, Putin is, in a sense, he's looking over his shoulder, realizing with the alliances surrounding him over there in that area, America's getting a little too close. You know, I got to protect my back. Not to say this guy's a nut. He is a nut, and he needs to be taken out. And at some point, and trust me, you think Biden don't have a playlist of giving him the time to stop? They kept begging him, hey, stop, Putin. You know, we got alliances that's going to protect that region. At some point, they're going to make a decision to take him out. You think America has the software to check where you're at, see your movements, and they can take him out anytime they want. Will that lead to World War III? And you heard what Putin says. Anybody that thinks they want to step into my arena, we're prepared. I hope it doesn't come to the point where they're unleashing bombs all over the place. Where do you think it's going to come? He's got nuclear weapons that'll hit here. But before that happens, Biden will take him out. Take him out fast, you know. So, you know, this back and forth chess game, which is what I think it is, it's the chess game. Putin wants something. Putin wants the West to back off and stop trying to come in there and surround him because he's worried. China's not going to do anything. China's not going to get involved. China has an interest in the U.S. too. They own 30 or 40% of our stock. So China's not going to allow missiles to fly over here. It's all a chess game. That's all it is. Big talk, boys in the sandbox, running their mouths, playing with their marbles, and going nowhere. So, but if Putin steps outside that arena, what do you think's going to happen? They're going to hit him and they're going to avoid killing innocent men, women, children, but they'll take him out, and which is what needs to happen. And that'll send a message to this idiot so-called previous president, stupid Trump. He needs to be taken out too. Shh, be quiet. CIA and The Secret Service is listening. Who cares? But
John, you'll care if the Secret Service shows up at your house. I mean, that's a very serious thing. I would never play with that.
This is America. You should be able to speak your
and in
mind.
America, if you make any kind of threats, veiled or subtle or otherwise, about a U.S. president sitting or otherwise, you might have the boys show up at your house. I'm telling you.
That's true.
That can happen. So I will watch that.
I'm very careful what I say, because I know they're listening. They're listening to all of us, thanks to that stupid Patriot Act garbage that George Bush and Cheney put on. And don't forget, Barack Obama renewed the Patriot Act too. Yeah, another day, another time. Yeah. I'm maybe waiting for Barack Obama down the line. So, Putin probably at some point, if the situation doesn't clear up and he keeps marching, similar to World War II, when Germany just started marching out of Germany and they wanted to they're going to take him out, Putin. And any other threat that's there just have to go. America does know 40% of those people in Russia want him out anyway. Once you send a message to Putin, the rest will lockstep. They will have no choice. Okay, let's get to Sankofa, African American 3D Museum, the first virtual reality museum in the country and around the world. And we're happy to launch it. It's an invite tonight at 6 p.m. If you didn't get the link, you should have got it. Nathan Ivey, click register. You'll meet the team and me and the people that built this. Took us about 2 years to get to this point, and it's a lot more work that we have to do. Coding, games, the auditorium on the first floor, bookstore, a cafe, and a radio station and TV station on the third floor. All of that's coming second phase. But if you don't,
so John, I'm confused here. You said it's virtual, but then you said there's a cafe and radio station on the third floor. The virtual third floor, or is there a building?
The cafe is on the ground floor. That video I sent you kind of showed you the outside of the building, and the cafe is on the ground floor. That's second phase. The auditorium and bookstore is second phase. That'll come second phase. And the radio station and TV station is on the fourth floor. All of this is virtual reality 3D, which is Meta, the metaverse. That's where everything is going. And we're happy to be the first one coming out of the gate doing this. So, but if you don't have the invite, Zoom at 6 p.m. tonight, go to the main page, SAA3DM as in Mary.org, the main page. You'll see a video up top, and underneath that video is a tablet saying enter Sankofa African American 3D. It's live, it's hot. You can go into the museum now. 4 floors of exhibits focusing on African American history in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York.
Sounds good. I love it, John. Listen, let's set up a time sometime next week to have you come on and talk about it. I got a guest or some guests coming in a couple of minutes, so I got to make a move here. But I really appreciate you. I'll give you 30 seconds for the last word.
Well, I just want everybody to realize, as much as the rascally Republicans and even some liberals that are trying to stop African American history, they can't stop this platform, because it's going worldwide and it'll be in every language around the world. It's all about the hits. We're going to catch up with Facebook and surpass them at some point in time. Thank you very much for your time.
Surpass Facebook? Oh, that's very ambitious. But props to John. John is a very serious man. He ain't joking out here. We've got about a minute. I've got guests scheduled to come in the next hour, but there is some breaking news. There is some breaking news. It looks as if President Joe Biden, has selected Judge Catanji Brown Jackson and he's nominated her to be on the Supreme Court. First Black woman ever to be nominated, I think. And she'd certainly be the first Black woman to ever be a Supreme Court justice. And I'd like to know what you think about his pick. There are photographs circulating around, about her. Let me see if I can find one real quick. Her and her family. I think I can find it. Here it is. This is Judge Catanji Brown. That's her husband right there. And I think this is big. And this is big for a lot of reasons. This is huge in the sense that You know, a black woman, you got all these black and brown girls going to law schools. They can look up and know they can become it. And it just pushes the culture forward. You know, people are going to make something out of the fact that she's not married to a black man. Get ready for those conversations today and throughout the weekend. We might touch upon that. I do have a thought, but you know, hey, it is what it is. But it looks like Joe Biden is coming through with a campaign promise. And that's what politicians should do. Probably you promised me something during the campaign and I give you my vote. Darn it, I'm trying not to curse. And I want to make sure that you come through and deliver what you said. And he's dealing with political gridlock when it comes to, I see brothers are coming in. Hey, what's up, brother Sonny and Maurice? Good morning to you, brothers. Still waiting for Ashley to come in. When she comes in, I'll bring everybody on. Hopefully they can hear me. I think they can. But where was I? Oh, there's Ashley. Okay, so let me stop right there. I know I was in mid-thought. I'll finish those thoughts later in the show, but I want to bring Ashley on first. Hey, good morning, Ashley.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Trying to get the lighting all right. I hope this is
It's
good.
all good. I see the brothers. How many brothers are we expecting this morning?
I think around 5, but I will say I had to switch to Safari. I was going to send a message and let them know because it wouldn't let me go through my Google browser, and I don't know that everybody knows that.
Okay.
So let me.
I see a few. I see Sonny, Maurice, and Will.
Oh, you do see some. Okay, gotcha. Never mind. They got it.
Well, let me start. Let me start with you, Ashley, and just kind of tell people who you are. See who else is here.
Okay, let me.
Yeah, Sonny, Will, and Maurice. Okay, thought I heard something.
Okay.
But kind of tell people who you are and what you're doing with this project.
All right. Okay. All right. So my name's Ashley Glass. I am the owner and founder of Black Women Cultivating Change. And so with my business, we really work to reduce the stigma related to mental health in the Black community. So I've worked in public health for about 11 years now. And I noticed a trend that we are not reaching out for mental health services, nor being offered mental health services, which results in unresolved trauma with our violence, domestic violence, gun violence, just aggressive behavior, toxic masculinity, all of that. And I feel like mental health, if we could get our mental health together, it'll then be like a snowball effect of everything else going together, because it all starts in the mind, everything, even your physical health. And so mental health is really near and dear to me. And so that's why I started Black Women Cultivating Change. Carlton is saying he can't get into. Will said he can't hear. I'm not sure what's going on with them, but
if they're using cell phones, they may have varying degrees of technical difficulties. It's
okay.
like hit or miss with a cell phone.
Okay,
like
gotcha.
sometimes it works great and it works
And
even better than the regular, like a laptop, and sometimes it's just the worst thing ever. So
yeah, just technology. But yeah, so I really just want to spread awareness, advocate, educate. And I feel like being Black, I love having an organization that I can really help Black people. You know, I'm taking a stand. I'm kind of separating myself. This is been challenging, but it feels good to be able to hold programs and have events and things of that nature that's put on by Black people at Black businesses with Black resources for Black people. Because 100%. I feel like we understand each other, you know, the most. We understand each other the best. So.
Oh, absolutely. So yeah. So I mean, just to catch people up, and I talked about it a bit this morning, but you did a documentary with Black women. Talk about that. What was it? How did it go? And then what are you doing now?
Okay. So last year I did a documentary on Imposter Syndrome in Black women. So I interviewed 16 women in leadership positions in Cincinnati, Ohio, who were mentors for me and really helped me get to where I am today. But I wanted them to share their story, because I think a lot of time people are like, well, how did they, you know, make it to, you know, whatever that position or whatever the case may be? What challenges, what barriers do they have to overcome to get to that place? And so I interviewed them all, and they shared their stories on the road to their success. And a trend in that documentary was people telling them, you know, they couldn't do it along the way. So I think as Black women and men, we not only have to deal with the struggle within ourselves, so self-sabotaging behavior, imposter syndrome, but also all of this outside adversity too. So it was a trend. All of them, well, most of them had people telling them, they don't think they're going to be a good fit. They don't think they're going to successfully complete their program, just things of that nature. And it's really just, I want to bring it to the forefront, and so that we can make some changes so that people can be more uplifted on their roads to success, to becoming the person they want to be ultimately. So.
I'm sorry, Ash. What's the timeline? I know there's an event tomorrow, the Mixer.
Yes.
But what's the timeline, and what are your plans for the Black men?
So the timeline, so it's from 5 to 8 p.m. tomorrow at Arch OTA downtown. We are going to start with networking. There'll be food. I'm excited. Someone I went to high school with has his own business. It's a catering business. He's catered for Dave Chappelle. And we're going to have wings and his seasoned fries, rolls, that sort of thing. And then there's going to be vendors. But after that, we're going to go into the speakers. So we've got a lineup of amazing speakers talking about their childhood, interactions with the mental health system, racism and mental health. So we've got a lot of powerful speakers too as well. And then we're going to end it out with a panel discussion, which you are going to be a part of. But we're really going to let you all just kind of talk about being the leaders in the community, your interactions, and how you guys feel about mental health and how important it is for Black men. So it's going to be a really amazing event. I'm excited. Right now, we've got 84 people registered. So I'm just hoping we get a lot of people to come in. We also are going to have resources for mental health organizations in the community. So NAMI is going to be there, the Cincinnati Health Department. There'll be therapists there. So you can really link yourself to a service too, if that's something you'd want to do after attending this event as well.
And the event is free. Is that correct?
The event is free, totally free.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me invite some of the brothers on. We got Sonny here, and we got Carlton. And we have Brother Maurice, but I think he's having some issues. Hopefully he'll be able to hear us. Hey, good morning, brothers. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. Hey, Carlton, can you hear me? Except for the most part. And Brother Maurice, can you hear me? He said he can't hear us. So I'm going to put him backstage just for now. There it is. It's a little bit better. All right, brothers. Hey, Sonny, I'll start with you, man. Just tell folks about yourself and, why are you involved in this project?
Involved with it. I've been doing this since youth services. I've been speaking to the youth, motivating them to do what's best for them in their life. I got pulled into this by Danny Shakur. We've been longtime friends since high school. We've been speaking about things, trying to put something together with the brothers and things like that, man. And I just go back with a childhood background and growing up with the mental health, depression, and things like that. And just want to speak to my guys and hoping to motivate and encourage.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good. Hey, Carlton, same here. Same question for you, man. I mean, tell us a little bit about yourself and then, why are you involved with this? Can't hear you, Carlton. He can hear us, but we can't hear him.
Are you unmuted, Carlton?
Again, it could be the cell phones. It's hit or miss. I see he's in the car. It just kind of depends sometimes. Yeah, really glad you're here, Carlton. We really can't hear you though, brother. Okay, he says, trying to read his gestures. He says he's gonna hit us back. So, sorry about that, Ash. It's out of my hands. It's just a connection with cell phones. It really, I've just learned.
Sorry about that.
Well, I've just learned with the software that I'm using. I use something called Restream, and it's just hit or miss with it. So he's back. Let me try it one more time. Hey, Carlton, can you hear us now? No, you can't hear us. Okay. Well, what I've learned is the show goes on. So I appreciate them, but we'll just kind of move on with the program. That way we don't stall it out. People are watching and that kind of thing. So just
Yeah.
to reiterate, Ashley. So is there going to be a documentary with the men as well? Is that what this is leading to?
So yes, so definitely you want to get a documentary going with the men too. So that's in the works. I'm trying to find funding for that, and then collaborating with people so that I can be able to do that, as well as the main goal is and I keep saying this, but a social determinants of health documentary. I think the Black community really needs to be mainstreamed, educated on the social determinants of health and how that interacts with why we have health disparities. So from when we grow up, the environment that we live in, the education that we receive, just the experiences that we've had, the internalized stress, lack of transportation, housing conditions, all of that interacts with our health. And I want to
Right.
break it down so that people understand that. So
Right. Oh, okay. So okay. That's interesting. I'd like to hear more about that. Like, what's that
yeah.
sound like? But I just feel like the work that you're doing is just so critical. It's so critical to kind of open people's eyes and to realize that we are human. And then men, we cry in the dark. We don't like to expose those kind of feelings. We've been taught to just keep all that in. That's what a man does. And it's not healthy. It's not always healthy. I mean, some things, yeah, but it can be very unhealthy. So I'm very glad that you're doing this, and I 100% support you. So again, if people, I've gotten this question: Are women allowed to attend the event tomorrow?
I've gotten that question too. So yes, we are not turning ladies away. Although this event is for men, if you have a significant other or just women do want to attend, you are more than welcome to come. Of course, it is geared more for men, but yes, ladies are allowed to come.
Okay. So. And again, what's the time frame again, and where is it?
It'll start at 5 to 8. So 5 to 5:30 is going to be just kind of the networking, vending, food, and then we're going to get into the programming at 5:30 with the speakers, and then end with the panel. So.
Okay. All right. Well, Ashley, listen, thank you so much for your time, and for all the fellas, all the gentlemen. I appreciate you, Carlton. I wish we could have got you on. But things happen, and Sonny, great to see you, man. I get a chance to connect with you on tomorrow. And Ashley, I appreciate you so much, and I'll see you tomorrow as well.
No problem. Thank you so much for letting us come on today, and thank you for being part of the event.
Oh,
thank you, brother.
For sure. Yeah, take it easy. That's Ashley Glass, Sonny, some good brothers. I see it's a brother named Will behind the scenes. It's hit or miss. I've just learned the show goes on. The show goes on. But anything that support, I keep saying it, and I'm doing it. Anything that supports us here in this city where I live, you got my support. You got my support. And I think that what she's doing is caught in the matrix. I think that what she's doing is it's great for us. Why not? It's great for us. The first doc, I thought it was an excellent idea. I got a chance to go to the premiere of it and watched it. It was just very interesting to hear these women talk about their journey with mental health and imposter syndrome and how they overcame it. I thought it was super interesting. So I'm really interested to see what she does with the brothers. So we shall see. Jerica writes, women should definitely be in attendance, especially if they're raising boys or dating the opposite sex. Tiffany has concern in her heart. She writes, Carlton has me nervous since he is driving and doing a Zoom. Yeah, I get a little nervous about that too. I do. Fox writes, rise and shine, young stars. Clyburn passed. I'm just saying. I didn't know that. Is that right? Let me see. Big ally for Jim Biden. Is that right? Joe Biden. Clyburn. I don't see anything that Jim Clyburn passed. Hold on, let me double check here and make sure I read this. She writes, Clyburn. No. Clyburn pissed. Okay, he's pissed. Okay. About the Supreme Court nomination. That's where we were going right before we talked with Ashley, but I wanted to make sure we got her in. And again, I'll be there. I'll be a part of panel conversation. Looking forward to it. I'll add my 2 cents, me, and get a chance to connect with some good people. I'm always down to meet some good people. Always. I always got room in my life for some good brothers. Always. But we were talking about this. Yeah. Joe Biden has chosen Catanji Brown Jackson for the Supreme Court. She's 51 years old. She's a U.S. Appeals Court judge, and she is poised to make history as the first Black woman on the nation's highest court. And I guarantee you all day long on some of these channels, they're going to be talking about the fact that she's married to a non-Black man. Does it matter? How much does it matter? Here's what I'll say. I think that what matters most about Catanji is how she processes the law. That's the number one thing that matters. You know, I'm more of a progressive. So I'm looking for her to be, I want to know if she's going to be more progressive on the issues that I care about. That's the number one thing that matters. But you already know, new Black media, they already did it. They already did it. They already been talking about the fact that Joe Biden's nominations for the Supreme Court are all Black women, but only one of them is married to a Black man. Like, how much does that matter? And before you say, it don't matter at all, that would be a lie, Black people. Don't act like you don't look at that kind of stuff, because you know you do. We all do. So, for instance, we was talking about Obama earlier. Part of the reason why Obama got so much love is because he was married to Michelle. That's just part of it. He was married to a Black woman, raising a Black family. It was the first Black family, like 100%. That's what was part of his charm. To some Black people, not everybody, but to some Black people, that was part of his charm. If a Barack Obama was married to a white woman or a not Black woman, you wouldn't look at her the same. You would not look at him the same at all. So, like, at the end of the day, I think her qualifications are what matters. How she's going to process the law. That's what matters the most. But if I'm being honest with you, it's like, I don't know, like, and I'm just talking here. Can I talk? I'm just talking. So don't hit me with no heavy critiques and criticisms. Even if you do, you do. It's a talk show. It's the nature of it. But a part of me feels like, so let me take it back to Barack Obama. If I had to be honest with you, I did think more favorably of Barack Obama because he was married to a Black woman. I did think more favorably of the Barack Obama administration because they had a Black first family. And it wasn't just the first Black man, but it was the first Black family, right? I did think that. Am I wrong? I know I'm not alone now. Don't act like I'm out here by myself. So what mattered the most to me about Obama is what he did policy-wise. You know, the energy came off as a leader of the country and all that kind of stuff. That was the number one thing. But I'd be lying to you if the fact that he had Michelle in his arm and had them beautiful babies with them brown cheeks, I'd be lying to you if that didn't win me over on some levels. It did. I liked it. And so when we get these first Black person in that position, there's a part of me that's like, you know what? Not only do I want to be the first Black man in a position or the first Black woman, but I want you to bring the Black family with you. I'm just saying. So I'm not against Catanji, not at all. I wouldn't hold it against her. I think you should marry who you marry 100%. If he love her, she love him, find love where you find it. That's their relationship. But I mean, as a human being, I'd be lying to you if those kind of things don't come through your head. That's just honest. Can I be honest? But I'm not going to kill her on it. You know, what I care more about, same thing with the VP. You know what I'm saying? Like, would you look at Kamala Harris differently if she was married to a Black man? You'd be lying if you told me you wouldn't. You'd be lying. You would. You would. And is that a bad thing? No, it ain't a bad thing. It's just a human thing. At least I'm being honest about it. I'm not trying to hide it. I'm just being straight with you. So I kind of feel the same way about the Supreme Court nominees. Like, at the end of the day, it's about the job and how she processes the law and what her viewpoint is. But, you know, if she had a Black family with her, Black man with her, as a Black man, I would look at that and be like, okay, sis, I like it. I'm just being honest with you. But let me go back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
What's up, Nate?
Hey, what up, Daryl?
What's up, man? Hey, excuse me. one of the things that's interesting about this pick and her background is I was just reading this and I just wanted to double check myself on the facts. I believe she's the only, well, if she makes it to the bench, she's already in, federal, but if she makes it to the Supreme Court, she would be the only one that has background as a public defender. That's important. That's very important to have that perspective.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And she's, and she's progressive at the same time. So that for those out there, I wasn't against the, to speak to someone in the chop shop said Clyburn is pissed. I don't think so, because I think what Biden is doing is he's playing like Judge Brown has already been confirmed on the DC Circuit Court. I mean, on the federal court, right? So she already made it through confirmation, so it shouldn't be a problem, okay? That she passes again. That's number one. Number two, she's progressive. And the whole thing about she's married to a white man. I mean, optically, that's probably more acceptable to what I would say the liberal left white masses. That's probably optically more acceptable. I mean, I'm just gonna put that out there. So she's got a lot, in terms of the politics and the appearance. In my mind, she has a lot going for, as opposed to the lady from South Carolina. I think the lady from California, she's young. And I think Biden might have a spot for her on if he can get her on a federal bench. And that would have been more of a challenge because I'm thinking she's more progressive. And maybe they're about the same, but she's, in terms of applying the law and stuff, she might be a little more progressive than Brown. And I think she's in the California State Court, and Kruger is who I'm thinking of. And I think that might, although I kind of like her, I'm wondering if some of her views, specifically when you look at voting rights, are more aligned with Lonnie Guinier. I'm not sure about that, but I'm just wondering that out loud. I wonder if she's in that realm when it comes to voting rights. I'm not sure, but I like the pick. The lady from South Carolina. I mean, to appease Clyburn is just, make her your nominee since Lindsey Graham, and they like her, and just appoint her to the DC Circuit Court to replace Brown. That's how I would do it.
You know what, Daryl, as you were speaking, man, just real quick, Daryl, as you were speaking, you mentioned Lonnie Guinier. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time. I Googled her. She passed away last month. I didn't realize that.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I didn't realize that, man.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, she passed away. And a lot of people, Clinton left her hanging, man. She took on a lot of hit, but from a legal perspective, when it came to voting rights, she had a very progressive view of voting rights and how that should be. And I can't quote all of it because I was reading an article about how she would apply the law to how voting rights and districts should be done to make it more equitable for people of color. And that was the consternation of Republicans, and that's why they torched her. And that was way back in the early 90s. And she took the hit for that. So,
yeah, she did.
Very, very smart lady. I've heard nothing but good things about her. But are you aware? One more thing, you might not be able to get to it. Are you aware of this case out of Pensacola, Florida, with the young man that worked at the Navy Federal Credit Union? I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but there was another no-knock warrant situation. They come in, they come into his house or apartment. He's laying in bed with his two babies. I think the mother, I guess she was at work or something. They come in 4:00 in the morning. Supposedly they bum rush his house looking for a stolen laptop and some other stuff. So he has a gun, he has a permit, and he hears somebody crash in, and he gets up and it's dark in the hallway. He walks down, and I think he fired a shot. Then he heard another boom. Then he fired a shot, and then they acknowledged it was the police. He put down his gun and he, came out on all fours with his hands up, laying down, and they took him in, and they were going to charge him with they were going to charge him with something, sort of like the brother in Kentucky with Breonna Taylor. They were going to charge him like that. This brother ended up losing his job, and the police are scrambling to protect it. But if you get a chance to look that story up, man, that's sad, because they took his kids, they had them in the back of the police car, and they opened the door to the police car. The youngest baby fell face first onto the concrete ground. And busted their face. Yeah, man, it's that's wild. So
I'm not aware of it, but I'll look for it.
Okay, yeah, just look it up, and that might be something for us. And actually, we can, if you have the funds, you can contribute. They have a GoFundMe set up for the kids and stuff. But if you can look that up and get more detail, that would be cool. Other than that, bro, have a nice weekend and take care.
You too, man. Thanks for the flows. Strong calls. All week long though. Strong calls. I thought we had some strong shows in terms of a conversation all week long, and your contributions have been strong as well. So please take a second to like, and in particular share today's show. Again, when you share the show, more people see it. It's really simple. Really simple. Over the weekend, you got two shows coming from us. You got Straight Talk Live, and on Sunday at 10 a.m. And then you've got Melanin Insights on Sunday at 5:30 p.m. And more shows to come. We got a couple of our shows are on hiatus right now. We got Midday Juice on hiatus, and also Is It Just Me podcast on our hiatus right now. But they'll be returning shortly for your viewing pleasure. And continue to support us as we grow. Like I said, I know there was some movement in terms of local radio here, and I honestly wish everybody the best. And my honest opinion about it is, as I've always felt, I'm only concerned about what I'm doing. I'm only focused on what I'm doing, this show and the shows we're working on, and what our plans are. And that's it. I think more is better. And I love the idea of having different voices in this city, in every city, quite honestly, to speak to our position. So, my response to it is to keep doing what we're doing. Keep amplifying Black and brown voices. That perspective is still desperately needed. Let me see. Victoria writes, I can see Messy Mitch from Kentucky saying no nomination since the country is on the brink of war. I can see that too. Whatever it takes. Again, I brought the race part of her nomination because that's the sizzle part of it. And that's the part that that people in like the Black Authority and Tariq Nasheed and Fly Nubian Queens, all these folks are going to be talking about that stuff. And I wanted to give you my 2 cents on it. But at the end of the day, what matters is her qualifications and what job the quality of her opinion and what she brings to the table case by case. The fact that she's a public defender, I like that. I like that a lot. And from what I'm reading, she'll be the first ever. Exactly. Or at least the first on the court, or the only on the court as we have it comprised right now. So it'll be very interesting. Supreme Court, man, super important. Super important. So if Biden does this, let me finish my thought from earlier. Right now, he's dealing with gridlock from the Senate. Can't get anything passed. Doesn't matter what he does. He can beg, borrow, plead. It's not going to happen. Okay. This is something that makes a big splash that he can do. Okay. And people can call it tokenism, but if it's tokenism, why did anybody else do it? Kamala Harris, say what you want to say about her. I've read that she's doing a great job, and she's just being quiet about it. And everybody knows that when you're doing the real work is done. You ain't loud about it. It's done behind closed doors. So, and now perhaps Catanji Brown Jackson. I think it's a good look for Joe Biden. I think it's a good look. I think that as we get ready for the midterm elections, and then we're only 2 years away from the presidential election, I think the more campaign promises that Joe Biden can check off and say, I did that, the better for him and the Democrats. Still waiting on that black agenda, though. That ain't happening. It ain't happening without some serious compromise with the way that the U.S. Senate is currently currently made up. So it is what it is. Back to the phones we go. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
La, 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 la. Wait till I get my voting right. What's going on, Nate? How you doing, man?
That's hilarious. I'm doing well. I'm doing well, brother. Welcome.
This is GW from Silverton, a.k.a. Glenformation, a.k.a. Politically Petty Podcast Show, a.k.a. Flo Debo. Nate, happy Friday, brother.
Happy Friday to you.
You know what, Nate? I don't. I'm not the type to pat myself on the back and say I told you so. But I kind of saw this coming with Miss Brown, and she's been my pick the whole time. And the reason why I was behind the pick, and the reason why I called it out early when you had those chaos agents and, the Black Knight variant types and, those from Gilligan Allen who were going to try to play Clyburn wants that other one, and Tim Scott and Lindsey Graham likes her. So I wonder what Biden's going to do. I wonder what the desperate Democrats are going to do. Is there infighting that might occur? No. He picked a woman who's already been confirmed, I believe, twice, Nate. And I think he's been confirmed by, I want to say at least, 13 or 16 Republicans in the past, along with, of course, the 50, Democratic senators. So I think I mentioned this maybe a month ago. Now we get to sit back and watch the clown show, Nate. Now we get to sit back and watch those same Republicans, maybe some of them, maybe, others are like, hey, I can't act a fool today. But we're going to see, all the racist attacks on these sisters. They're probably going to ask her about CRT. They're going to ask her, what is she might even get a question about the Gucci Gang plan, a.k.a. the Platinum Plan, a.k.a. Katrina Pearson got a text from Ice Cube plan. Do you feel me? That's what's going to happen, Nate. So I want to see the fools out there. I want to see the dropping bullshit crew, see what they got to say, see how they're going to disparage this sister. I want to see if so-called black Republican conservative types will actually defend this sister like, hey, maybe that's a bridge too far when you're trying to, play the she don't look as good as Aunt Viv, the first one game. They're going to play all those cards, Nate. But I think it's a good choice. I'm not into her husband. I don't know her little cousins and none of that stuff. I understand exactly what you mean, Nate. Because first thing coming on, I'm like, okay, half a side eye through the side eye type shit. I get all that, but I'm happy with this pick, bro. And like I said, I called it before. It should be an easy nomination, but if they want to act a fool, Nate, well, we already got our 50 votes. And then we got Kamala with, Kamala with her 51 vote to put it over the top. So, let's get the game on. But I just want to sit back and watch the circus
and see what the Republicans do and try to slander this sister. And then I want to see what, remember Officer Tatum? I wonder what he got to say about this, Nate. Oh, and by the way, if you a black man, and to go back to your question of the show today, did the Trayvon Martin 1 year later, did it change anything? And the only thing you get out of that situation is that, well, Barack Obama waited 30 days. Your coon ship must be stuck on Thanos mode. It has to be Thanos mode. If that's the only thing that you got out of that whole situation, I say prayers and condolences a year late or years later for the family of Trayvon Martin. But yeah, Nate, I just wanted to throw that out there, like I said, and I'm Flo Debo, and I'm out.
Appreciate you, Flo Debo. Take it easy, man. Flo Debo. He's Flo Debo. I'm Flo Sinatra. I just came up with that. I like that. Flo Debo. His tea is sweet. What? Shim so sassy? What are you saying, Jack? Jack writes, what a lame. What are you talking about, Jack? Who are you talking? I know you're not talking about Mason Marler like that now. Somebody said wangs. Y'all funny. When Ashley said it was going to have wings at the event tomorrow. I think it was, I can't remember. Somebody wrote wangs. I just remember looking down and seeing it. Janice writes, her husband could pass for a light-skinned black man. Daryl writes, she's a progressive. Victoria writes, good for Mrs. Brown, although I don't care for her. Paul Ryan and her are related by marriage. Is that right? He's not a white man. Oh, he's not white? Okay. Let me see here. He's not white? I mean, does it really matter? No. This is more of the salacious sizzle part of it. I totally get it. I fully acknowledge it. But I'm going to bring it up anyway. TNT writes, does it matter that he chose a dark-skinned woman and not a light-skinned woman? It's all superficial, but I know we critique everything down to their hair follicles. I think it does matter on some levels. Let's be honest here. It do matter. I'm glad that she's a dark-skinned sister. You know what I'm saying? I like that. I'm just being honest with you. Dale writes, interracial marriage, sleeping with the enemy if the husband is white. Is Clarence Thomas sleeping with the enemy teabagger white wife? Teabagger white wife? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Where's the conversation going? She's a Harvard Law grad. That alone qualifies her to me. Well, I mean, that's a good first step, but I want to know what you've done in your professional life. But that's a good first step. I get it. I mean, it seems like Ivy League is sort of like a precursor, right? It's obligatory in order for you to get on the Supreme Court. Shouldn't be that way. Got a lot of smart people that didn't go to Ivy League colleges, but it is what it is. What? Well, how do you feel about Clarence Thomas then? Somebody writes. Brent writes, Ted Cruz is going to lead the high-tech lynching clan of Catanji Brown Jackson. I don't think they're going to get anything. I don't think he's going to get anything. Like Gary from Ricky Smiley. Who? What the hell? Are you saying Mason Marler is like Gary from Ricky Smiley? That's not true at all. That ain't true. Why are you coming for Mason Marler this morning? Jack, what's up with you? Jack said, I'm here and I want all the smoke. It's the chop shop, huh? Let's chop it up. Oh, it was Nat. Wangs, though? Wangs, huh? You hilarious. I see Brother OJ is in the house. What's up, Brother OJ? Yeah, good to see you. Said he's just doing his real estate thing and promoting his concert. Absolutely. Sounds good to me. Good morning to you. She was my pick from the very beginning, somebody writes. Okay, great. Ray writes, look at what Clarence Thomas' wife is out here doing. She's a clown and may have some explaining to do regarding the January 6th situation. Yeah, I read that as well. I didn't read, so I don't know what her involvement was, but I read the headline that she has some involvement, so I can't really speak intelligently on it at this point. But just wanted to read that comment. 513-873-7146. 888-888-3434. If you want to transform your brain waves into internet talk radio waves this morning, this is the place to do it. The Nathan Ivey Show, your morning destination for interesting conversation. Simple as that. Let's get into it. Let's see. John from San Quentin. Yeah, Sean, for sure. Sure, I got your message. Let's make it happen. For Monday, I'm down. Nathan is right. You will be John from prison. Yeah, right. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You know, threatening the president on airwaves. I know we got a small little podcast here. You know, I get it, but trust me, you'd be surprised just how deep the surveillance goes. And saying something about a president like that over the airwaves, it just ain't really worth it. It ain't worth it. Because most people ain't ready for that smoke. Like literally, the Secret Service will knock on your door. They literally will. They have to. That's their job. So I would just be very careful about that. And people are posting links about Catanji Brown Jackson. I think it's a dope move. I think, why not? We need more black women on the Supreme Court. And remember, we had more black women on the Supreme Court, then this place wouldn't be circling the drain. Although some folks, by this place, I mean this country, some folks believe like this is a slap in the face to black excellence. And then other people are like, oh, you're excluding all of the races. I mean, get out of here. Have you looked at the history books? Right back ain't cheating. Right back, I mean, for hundreds of years in this country, the rule was white first, white only. Black folks were excluded no matter what their qualifications was. It made no difference. Hell, it still happens today. You got white folks in positions they ain't hardly qualified for in some cases. But they got it because they cool with the people that, you know, make them decisions. It happens that way. Every once in a while it happens to black folks, but primarily that's the white person thing. Let's be honest here. But now when Biden says that he wants to focus on a black woman, people want to get all in their feelings. This ain't America. No, this is America. This is how we do in America. You know what I'm saying? Good for the goose. It's good for Joe Biden. Now you want to talk about race? You want to talk about what's right and wrong? Please, screw that. He did the right thing. You know, there were probably people that voted on Joe Biden because he said that. You got to come through for them people, man. They want to see you deliver. You got to deliver. Speaking of delivering, I need to deliver another promo address for you right now. Our friends over at Renew Community Church, they do a Sunday morning live stream. It's a Sunday morning masterclass. And people love masterclass series these days, especially if it's interesting. You might find this interesting. You can tap in on Facebook, facebook.com/Cincy Renew. That's CINCI Renew. And or you could tap in on YouTube at Renew Community Church live stream. Okay. This Sunday's topic, check this out. How does this hit your ears? Change your life. Love yourself. Change your life. Love yourself. That's the subject for this Sunday's Sunday morning live masterclass. It starts at 11:45 a.m. Eastern time for my people around the country. Eastern time. 11:45 a.m. Eastern time. All right. Tap in. And if you like it, tell me what you think. It's more of a self-help seminar. You know, that's what they're doing with this is more of a self-help motivational kind of seminar. That's what it really is. Is her husband related to Paul Ryan? I don't know. David writes, ask the Pharaoh. They knocked on his door, as I understand it. That is true. Jack writes, I hope the new selection to the Supreme Court does an applicable job. I'm sure she will. And it'll come down to the way people process in their own politics. Like for people that are progressive, if she comes in and starts voting progressive, they're going to love her. And then for people who are not progressive, if she comes in and starts acting progressive, they're going to hate her. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. Good morning to you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you have a great day. I am going to make a move. I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for being here. I'll be back with you on Monday morning. We'll chop it up. Hey, maybe I'll see you at the Mixer on Saturday down at was it at OT Arts? I haven't been there yet. This will be my first time. I wanted to go. They do a great job of promoting themselves. So I'm interested in checking out the space. I've seen it on Instagram, but never been there before. Not too far from the house. I could be there real quick. So looking forward to it. I'll be a part of panel conversation. I may even take some videos or live stream it. It'll be a game time decision, so don't hold me to that. If you want to connect with me directly, hit me with a direct message on Facebook. Now, for the people in the investment club, I told you, give me a week from Monday or over the weekend by Monday at the latest. Then I'll reach out to everybody with the next steps. And the next step is to set up a Zoom style meeting. If you can't be there, I will record it and then process it and give it to you if you want it. But a Zoom style meeting where you can meet with our CPA, a potential CPA. You might say you don't like them. Okay, we'll look for somebody else. But we'll meet with the CPA, get a sense of who he is and what he's offering and what this plan is. And if you're down, we move forward. And then we start, supporting one another as we make our investments on a monthly basis, and we watch our pennies stack. We watch our investment grow. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's exactly what we should be doing. But again, family, have an excellent rest of your day. Remember our motto. It's the Chopper motto. Winners focus on winning. Losers focus on winners. So stay focused and stay winning, and we'll talk real soon. Until next time, I'm out.
Yeah. Talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a that's what they don't understand. I'm back again like